What are the best Los Angeles neighborhoods for savvy Los Angeles homebuyers? We're discussing 6 in this video, and then you get to choose the winner. And in this video, I'm joined by an incredibly awesome colleague who is also my new boss, and that's Melody Jiggets. Melody created the brokerage Melo, which I will be joining next week. Melody and I are going to be arguing to each other about the best neighborhood in Los Angeles for savvy homebuyers. And by savvy homebuyers, we mean buyers who are looking for homes in neighborhoods that offer more value than the sticker price, neighborhoods that are coming up, and then you get to choose which of these neighborhoods you think is the best Los Angeles neighborhood for savvy Los Angeles homebuyers. And you vote by writing in the comments what your favorite neighborhood is, and then clicking that thumbs up button. And once we get 100 likes, that's 100 thumbs up clicks, we're going to close the voting and make a video about who the winner is. So, enjoy, and then please vote. I lost the coin toss, so I'll go first. So, Melody, the best Los Angeles neighborhood for savvy homebuyers is West Adams.
That's a good one.
Okay, so let me show you where West Adams is on the map right here. West Adams is this neighborhood south of the 10, immediately east of Culver City, which is exactly why it's the best Los Angeles neighborhood for savvy homebuyers. So when I first moved to Los Angeles, which was 19 years ago, downtown Culver City, down here, was really the heart of Culver City. And the story in the 10 years after I moved here was about how Culver City was getting so expensive. Culver City has expanded east, boop, 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 such that we have now in this area, well, there's this climbing gym called Cliffs of Id, and I'm a climber, so I happen to know that it's like the best climbing gym in Los Angeles. But also right there is a high-rise, like luxury condo building called Cumulus? Cumulus? Cumulus. Yeah. Called Cumulus. And it's just evidence of how far east Culver City is moving, and it's, you know, sort of the hipness and cafes and shops of Culver City are beginning to move into West Adams right around here. And this area here is interesting. It's an interesting mix of properties. Some are a little bit newer, some are older, and that creates opportunity. You know, Los Angeles is such a diverse city that you can find homes that have a lot of value to add and value to create next to homes that are already value added. And that's an opportunity for our savvy home buyers to buy right. What's also great about West Adams is the Expo line runs right through there, and that connects West Adams to Culver City and the rest of Los Angeles. So in conclusion, West Adams is the best Los Angeles neighborhood for savvy home buyers because it is rapidly becoming part of cool Culver City.
Actually, John, the best neighborhood for savvy home buyers is Frogtown. The official name is Elysian Valley. So I'm going to draw it here on the map. So fun fact about Elysian Valley, it's also known as Frogtown. And Frogtown, it got its name from the hundreds of frogs that used to swarm the neighborhood back in the 1930s.
Wow.
So there was actually a bridge that was inaugurated last year in 2022 that leads from Glassell Park and Mount Washington and Cypress Park over to Elysian Valley. So as you can see, the LA River is right here, and there are tons of restaurants and shops, and also there are 5 different developments here, $150 million investment, and it's bringing about 250 units to the neighborhood. So investing in this neighborhood, having a small multifamily is really, well, I don't want to say guaranteed, but the likelihood that it will increase your property values is pretty high. And it's an artsy enclave, as you talked about before with West Adams. A lot of creatives, young professionals are moving to the neighborhood. And it has a really established community as well, prideful folks that live there. So I am putting this one on the map, adding it to the competition because I think it's a great area to invest. And it's also a fun area to hang out in.
I like it. But wait until I tell you about Inglewood. I think Inglewood is the best Los Angeles neighborhood for a savvy home buyer because of the city infrastructure that's being built in Inglewood right now. Let me show you what's going on in Inglewood. This is Inglewood, and right here is SoFi Stadium, which has been built and is currently home. Are the LA Rams still playing there?
Yes.
Yes, so we got lots of sporting events going on in SoFi Stadium, but what's very important for our conversation is that SoFi Stadium is going to be home to the 2028 Olympics, which the city of Los Angeles is hosting. And in anticipation of those Olympics, Los Angeles is making sure that a lot of infrastructure around Inglewood is in place, namely a subway line that comes down Crenshaw and then heads down Florence to get to LAX. And you may have noticed, if you've flown in or out of LAX recently, that there's this new people mover being built that is going to replace the big traffic circle. So instead, somewhere just outside LAX is where you park and pick up rental cars or get dropped off by your Uber, and there'll be this tram that pulls you into LAX that is connected to the new K line, which runs up to the Expo line and will eventually run all the way up to Wilshire, and the line that's being built under Wilshire right now. And the city is really incentivized to get this done by 2028 when the entire world comes to Los Angeles for the Olympics. What does that mean? Well, it means that what we know as Inglewood is going to be a destination spot within the city of Los Angeles within 5 years. And so that's why I think purchasing either a single-family home or a multifamily in or around Inglewood is a great investment for the future, especially if it's a starter home or your first property, and you might be transitioning into another property in 5 or 6 years down the road. Let's zoom in a little bit, and we'll talk in a little more detail. This right here is downtown Inglewood, and again, here's SoFi Stadium. So north of Inglewood, we have Ladera Heights, View Park, Windsor Hills, and to an extent, Park Mesa Heights. So Park Mesa Heights tends not to be quite as nice, but these are some great single-family neighborhoods that are just north of downtown Inglewood. And the location's amazing because you're just above Inglewood and just below Culver City. So you have proximity to two areas that are already, thriving commercial areas. And then in Inglewood itself, as you get to the southern tip of Ladera Heights and View Heights, you start getting into a multifamily neighborhood. And in my mind, north of Florence, any multifamily north of Florence, I think is presently a gold mine. We don't like to use the word guarantee. We probably don't like to use the word gold mine. Yeah. But these multis, it's a great mix of multis built from the 40s through the 70s, from duplexes all the way up to small apartment buildings. I love these buildings, and I always get really excited when one comes to market. I think these are excellent multifamilies to buy. The neighborhood is very nice. It's very pleasant. It's very reminiscent of the single-family blocks that are immediately to the north, and you're just blocks north of downtown Inglewood. Now, moving further south into Inglewood, a word of caution is that you want to be careful of the flight path out of LAX. These runways have a lot of air traffic. They create a lot of noise. It's basically a constant stream of planes coming and going, and they're loud. And that is a neighborhood feature that is basically unchangeable. These neighborhoods are always going to be louder, and that affects the tenant base. Because you have to think about who's going to want to live under flight path. However, anything north of the LA flight path, I think, is just a fantastic place to buy Los Angeles property, either single family or multifamily, as we move toward the 2028 Olympics. Do I win?
No, you did not win. Although Inglewood is a great area, and I'm looking forward to the 2028 Olympics as well. Let's travel north to Leimert Park, and you'll understand why you didn't win. So Leimert Park, I'm just going to circle it here on the map. It's known to be the hub of Black culture in LA. The community spirit is strong, and it's really beautiful to see. I love this neighborhood for house hackers for several reasons. So there is just so much development happening in the area. We have the revamp of Leimert Village. We also have the renovation of the Vision Theater, which is slated to open any day now. And there are billions being invested in multifamily developments as well as commercial spaces in the area. So what I also love about Leimert Park is the architecture is really a mixed bag. You can get Spanish all the way up to mid-century. And the price point relative to LA County is still considered to be somewhat affordable. When we're looking at lot sizes, again, thinking about ADU builds, the average lot size in Leimert Park is about 6,000 square feet. And when we're looking at price per square foot, about $675 a square foot.
Yeah, I really like the 1920s buildings in Leimert Park. I also really love the 1940s and 1950s buildings in Leimert Park. the 1920s multis are gorgeous.
They are.
And then the mid-century singles are gorgeous.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of gorgeous, there is a beautiful duplex on the market now, and it has a 3-2 and a den and a 3-1, and guess the price point, $999.
Oh.
So one of the units, it comes vacant, and the other unit, the tenant is paying close to market rent.
So if you're interested in that duplex, give me an email, john@hhla.co.
Because of all of the development happening in the neighborhood, also because of just the strong sense of community, you have neighbors who really care about what's happening in the area. Also, home prices are somewhat reasonable, and you can get just beautiful, beautiful homes at decent prices. So Leimert Park is on the top of my list.
I mean, I love Leimert Park, but for my third entry into this contest, I think I have what is truly the best Los Angeles neighborhood for savvy home buyers. Can I tell you about it?
Yes.
I'm going to take us all the way down to San Pedro.
Okay.
Let's talk about San Pedro. So we all know the port of San Pedro. Big picture, over the last decade, 2 decades, the workforce at the port of San Pedro has been declining. Automation, etc. How that's interesting in terms of Los Angeles real estate is that the neighborhood of San Pedro, which is part of Los Angeles City, used to be where a lot of longshoremen lived. Now there are fewer longshoremen, so there's fewer longshoremen living in San Pedro, and it's becoming a very attractive place for anybody to live. San Pedro is sometimes called the last inexpensive piece of coastal real estate in Southern California. And some development projects that have recently begun suggest that it might not be the only inexpensive piece of coastal Southern California real estate for much longer.
Right.
So what I'm talking about is a development that's going in this pier right here. This used to be the Fisherman's Wharf. There was a restaurant where you could buy fish. Now it's going to become Harbor West, a big development with a lot of commerce, a lot of commercial stores going in. I don't quite have the budget number, but there's going to be a big amphitheater at the southern tip and restaurants and essentially a big outdoor mall through the rest of the West Harbor development. And so San Pedro, as you can see, is right between this new development, which should be completed in 2024. Construction is starting now. And to the west, Rolling Hills and Rancho Palos Verdes, which are expensive neighborhoods. And being sandwiched between an expensive neighborhood and a destination, I really think San Pedro is going to take off in the next couple of years. Inside San Pedro, there's sort of a bit of a imaginary border here on Gaffey Street. To the west of Gaffey Street, there's more single family, and it's extremely pleasant. Like, I love going down and looking at properties in this part of San Pedro. It's just nice. There's this, it's like a slight incline from the coast up to about here. And so you have these great views from like every street. There's this nice breeze coming up. It's a really like lovely area. And the home prices are not crazy expensive. They're actually like quite reasonable, especially given how coastal it feels. Like, it feels like you're in one of the beach towns because you are.
Yeah.
It's just not, Manhattan Beach pricing. On the other side of Gaffey, on the east side, this is generally kind of the wrong side of the tracks of San Pedro. However, the wrong side of the tracks can offer some great opportunity. The east side of Gaffey has more multifamily properties, slightly older builds, so there's a lot of 1920 small multifamilies that need a little bit of work. But with the new development being right here, having a multifamily near Harbor West is going to, again, in 2 years' time, be an extremely walkable multifamily property. And that makes it very attractive to renters. So I think it would be a very smart move to scoop up some small multifamilies near Harbor West before Harbor West is complete, so that when Harbor West is complete, you are now the owner of a walkable multifamily, which is what every renter in Los Angeles wants, to be able to drive home from work Friday and not get in the car again until Monday morning. And that's why, whether you're looking for a single-family home or a multifamily home, San Pedro is the best Los Angeles neighborhood for a savvy home buyer.
Also, hiking is pretty good there too.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah, but you know where else you can hike?
Around here? Where?
In Altadena.
Oh, you were setting me up.
Yes. So let's travel north to Altadena. You can see it here on the map along the 210, and it is located at the base of Verdugo Mountains. It is just a picturesque community, and that is what I really like about it. You feel a bit secluded, and you're not too far away from the city. It takes you about 25 minutes to get to downtown, 25 minutes to get to Hollywood, and you heard me talk about it before, but the lot sizes. The average lot size in Altadena is 8,000 square feet. So you basically are getting 2 lots for the price of 1. And it gives you ample space to develop using SB9, using our new ADU laws. So when we're talking about, again, price points, it is a bit higher than the average for LA County. But when we're looking at surrounding neighborhoods like South Pasadena and other parts of Pasadena, it is lower. There are some parts of it that can be a little dicey when we're looking at like mid-Lake Avenue, but not enough to the point where you wouldn't want to invest. I would still invest. I would still live there. Additionally, the neighborhoods are well established. It is where millionaires, you could find millionaires in the 1930s living in Altadena. So that gives you just an idea of how some of the homes look. It's a great investment for savvy home buyers because of the price per square foot, what you can get for your investment.
Yeah, and especially with SB9 a reality now, the larger lots in Altadena are really attractive because there's always the option of dividing the lot and having the new half lot, which would still be on average 4,000 square feet, have that to sell to a developer either as raw land to like pay off a big fraction of your mortgage,
yes,
or to build a home on it,
yes,
and then sell it for even more profits, wipe out a big chunk of your mortgage.
Absolutely, and that's another great reason why Altadena wins, and I just won this competition.
Okay, there you have it. The contestants for the best Los Angeles neighborhood for savvy home buyers. On Team Melody, we have Frogtown, Leimert Park, and Altadena. For Team John, we have West Adams, Inglewood, and San Pedro. Which Los Angeles neighborhood do you think is the best for a savvy Los Angeles home buyer? Vote by putting your vote in the comments below and then clicking that thumbs up button. And once we get 100 likes, we're going to end voting and make a video about the winner. And if you're interested in exploring these or any other Los Angeles neighborhood as a savvy home buyer with the best agents in LA for savvy home buyers, shoot me an email, john@hhla.co, and we'll be happy to talk to you. Was that too pitchy at the end?
No.